What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna do this real quick, and I had to go outside in my truck, man, because it's quiet in my house, and I'm gonna be real loud. I tried, man. I really tried. I watched the Pharaoh and Polight little debate, pre-debate, whatever they call that shit. Man, I told you. I told you. I told him. Like, and I heard you too, Posh, so don't think I ain't hear you, but you know how I am. You should know I am so far. Until I actually hear what I hear from you, I'm gonna go with what I got. But I can't wait to hear it. And I'm gonna email you probably in the morning, or probably in the morning. So, and give you my email and all of that. So anyway, I'm listening to it and I'm like, okay, G, I told you that this nigga was gonna try to use you, yo. I told Pharaoh, I'm saying it in the video, not saying that he heard it, nigga, like not like my videos get 1,000 views a day. I'm just saying, I told you, bro, that that's all he has. All he has is to try to discredit you. You don't understand what you've done. Like, you moved yourself into a position that he used to be in. And so being the fact that he used to be in this position, he don't want to give that shit up to you. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to lose. He don't want to. He want to be back where he was before. And I'm sure he knows by now that's probably never going to happen. And it's never going to happen with you popping. It's never going to happen with you growing and you're following and doing what you do. So he has to take you down. Sonetta and them dudes, they have to take you down. Like, I don't give a fuck what Sonetta say. Just like you saying he was talking shit about the man's wife, that ain't surprising. That shit is not surprising in the least. You wanna know why? Look what you said about Seti's moms. You don't give a fuck about no fucking women, nigga. No black women. Like, you say whatever the fuck you wanna say, do whatever the fuck you wanna do, yo. That's why you said one time on a video, I'm kinda like Polight, cause I got a wife over here and then a situation over here. Like, she's like, nigga, shut. Sonetta, man, he's a funny ass dude, man. But, yo, you cost them dudes a lot of bread, yo. You cost them niggas a lot of money, yo, because they had this so-called conscious community on lock, man. And watching that video tonight, man, that live, well, you guys did it the other day or earlier. I'm like, yo, man, I knew he was gonna do that. I was like, I said, his main two weapons against you are gonna be ad hominem attacks and appeals to popularity. And that is exactly what he did to you. He used ad hominem attacks and appeals to popularity. When you made references to certain questions about, well, how the fuck do you say that this is true if the date doesn't match up and blah, blah, blah? If these motherfuckers supposedly built it and the shit was built 2,000 years, 4,000, 15 to whatever, before they was even existed, yo, that raises questions. Like, what the fuck, yo? That raises questions to the validity of the story. Like, how the fuck you can't... Now, you can try... This is what Polight does, man. And Pharaoh, man, it's not your youth. I'm not going to be like them and try to gauge where you are because you're younger than me, man. That shit corny as shit. But only thing I'm going to say is you have to work on focusing on the point. If you had kept that nigga on the point, then he would have been exposed for what he was, and you can't get around it. Like, you can't explain away. If you're telling me that this person did this, and then I find out that the structure was built eons before this motherfucker even existed, then that raises more than reasonable doubt for one to say, you know what, I cannot continue to go along with this story until more facts and information are provided. Because that means if that's a lie, what else isn't a lie? How far does this rabbit hole fucking go? You don't want to talk about that. Notice how Polight did not want to mention that. In reference that he does not want to talk and delve into that shit because it's going to expose that, dog, you're just believing whatever the authors of the books that you read said. We can cut all this shit down to a couple seconds. You choose to believe, you, that chick, that sister, and fucking Inky choose to believe what you read in those books. Wholly, that's it, simply. Because you have no facts that that person who wrote that book actually got the information from a credible source, who got it from a credible source, who got it from a credible source. You, like, dog, you can't pretend. When this man's talking about secret societies, now all of a sudden you don't know what they are. Now all of a sudden the main motherfucker who was out here talking about these shits before, now you don't know shit about secret societies. The main motherfucker who claims that he's for black power and for black people and white people do certain type of crimes, black people do certain type of crimes. Now all of a sudden white people do no crimes, even though they lead the nation in crime every year. FBI crime statistics, not my opinion, say so, especially in categories like mass murders, rape, things of that nature, pedophilia, all of that shit. They're off the charts. It's like an epidemic. Drug use, all of that shit. But now white people not doing all this shit. Like, this dude is corny as shit, man. And I said that shit, Pharaoh, man. The people who ever listen to my channel, who listen to that dude, man, send that nigga this video, man, and tell that brother, yo, dogs, stop. Yo, whatever you're gonna do, man, separate yourself from that whole Sarnetta unit that you started with, period, G. If you're really righteous, which I kind of think you are, man, it's still part of, like, I don't see nothing, I haven't seen nothing yet, you know what I'm saying, personally, that for me to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people trying to tell me that the kid was involved in some sort of murder. I don't know shit about that, and I'm not going to speak on it any further than right there until somebody shows me that, and then I'll read the fucking police report that you send me and all that shit. Like, so if you don't have none of that, then everything you saying is probably speculation, unless you claim to be a witness with personal first-hand knowledge, or a witness of the victim, or a family member of the victim who was privy to certain knowledge, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know, nigga. Like, you gotta tell me. I'm not gonna do a video on it unless I hear something, unless it's just a Derek Jones Talks, me just talking about something, about how I feel about some shit. And right now, mainly that's Polight and his fuck ass. And I told you, man, ad hominems and appeals to popularity. That's all he did. Oh, you see where you're at right now. You have a problem with, dog. Stop trying to analyze me and answer the fucking question, dog. That's a tactic. It's generally used by attorneys. When attorneys are questioned and hit with questions of fact that they know they cannot prove, that's what they do. They'll go to tenure. Well, I've been doing this job for, I didn't ask you how long, dog, you've been doing this shit. I asked you a specific question. Either you can answer it or you cannot. He asked him about the Rosetta Stone. You can notice when people flip it. Well, what do you mean? What do I say? You say that you are Nanisut. If I ask you, what does that mean? You're telling me that comes from this language, from the Medunetra, blah, 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 thus and so. So if that is the case, then I ask you, well, what proof, evidence, witness with personal first-hand knowledge do you have to provide and prove that what you're saying is accurate and true? You don't have shit. You read this shit in some books, nigga, and them books were written by people. Then we have to ask, who are these people? Where did they get the information from? And you know this shit, Polight, because you're not an idiot. So you know that shit. That means you deliberately went up there and fucked with that kid because you know that kid is not good as far as public speaking. He kind of stutters a little bit when he gets agitated or excited. And so you use those things to your advantage and use the two people with him. And I know you was talking shit about Inky because you used to talk shit about him before. And he looks like a fucking Sambo coon up there with you, fucking just rocking with you, nigga. And you pop shit about him. Like that, come on, Inky, man. And I used to think better of you, G. That shit corny as hell. But yo, Polight, you whack, man. You a fucking sneakster, man. Like, you trying to ease your way back in, yo. And niggas is not, yo, my little videos is growing about your ass, and they gonna keep growing, yo. Because that shit is, I don't play those games, yo. I got a keen ear for bullshit, and I hear bullshit. And that video, what I heard tonight was bullshit. You did not answer one question with fact. All you did was use hyperbole and fucking attacks on this dude's character. Why would the only only reason you would bring up UFOs is to try to discredit this dude, and you the one who talked about this shit before. So that's how I know that you're doing that shit on purpose, which makes you a fucking fraud, which makes you a fucking piece of shit, yo. Like, I be trying to keep you in the realm of a brother. Like I had said the other day, nigga, about somebody, you said you the face of my black power, my ass. Like, you the face of black power. And I said, like, come on, man, that's like calling Donald Trump the face of black power. Like, yo, I'm using metaphor to say that shit, that you will never be the face of shit except scam power. The fuck you talking about? But at the same time, you still a brother. Your family still black, nigga. If this shit go down, nigga, of course you're accepted in, but you'll never be of high standard or ranking, yo. The only people that follow you is the fuck cult niggas that follow you, G. And once them fucking niggas find out who you really are, that shit's gonna be over. And I'm gonna keep it pressure on your ass. What the fuck are them success stories? How the fuck are you operating right now? Have PayPal fixed everything? So that means we should have a video coming real soon of people who got their shit fixed. Since you got your ass out here in the street and in the world popping again, that means all the shit got fixed. All the stuff got fixed and people got their money back and all their property back that they lost, and they fucking books and powders and whatever the fuck else you claim you serve or sell was selling, as they got all